Jordan Addison was arrested Friday night on an alleged DUI charge. He was in California in his car on a highway, stopped in a lane. Some people noticed. They called the authorities. They came over, and he was sleeping behind the wheel. Jordan Addison was pulled over for a DUI charge. And this comes 5 days after Minnesota Vikings rookie cornerback died along with two of his high school teammates because of an alleged drunk driver hitting their car, pushing them off the road, hitting tree stumps, and two of the three died at the scene, and the third died at the hospital. This is one of the dumbest moments I've ever witnessed, because you were literally just warned about something like this a few days prior. Because people do stupid things, and he's not the only one to ever be charged with a DUI, allegedly. And he's not going to be the only one charged with a DUI. NFL players, professional athletes everywhere, non-professional athletes, people drive drunk all the time. They get pulled over. This isn't the only DUI in history. But this is beyond stupid, because you were just warned about the dangers of DUI, of driving under the influence, by your teammate less than a week ago. And here you are in California doing it again. 1 year after you were driving over 100 miles per hour somewhere on a Minneapolis freeway. Man, this guy is stupid. And I see a lot of people hopping on board the train of, wow, what an idiot. This guy's a dumbass. Wow, what is this guy thinking? And I 100% am with those people. But I also want to point out something in this situation, in all DUI situations. Everyone's like, oh, just call an Uber, just call a Lyft. You're right. But these guys are literally impaired. These guys are not thinking clearly. So when these guys are not thinking clearly, they are not going to call up an Uber or a Lyft because they're drunk. And what does it mean to be drunk? It means that you're drunk. You are not of clear thinking. Your actions make no sense sometimes. So I don't want you to just say, oh, just order an Uber. It's not that simple. Well, it is, but not for drunk people. I think what needs to happen is, one, you don't get drunk. What's with this? I mean, people get drunk, but why? Why do people get drunk? What's the reason for Jordan Addison getting hammered besides him being a 22-year-old? I saw someone making an excuse for how young he was. Okay, like that makes that makes any sense at all? Who cares if you're 15 years old or 75 years old? If you are driving drunk, there is no excuse, and it is one of the dumbest things that you could do, because you're not just putting your own life at harm, but every single life that surrounds you while you're on the road. And, you know, so many people are doing what Jordan Addison did on Friday night, driving while intoxicated, what's the difference between a DWI and a DUI? I never understood that. But so many people do what Jordan Addison did and get away with it scotch-free in terms of harming other people's lives. And then you look at what happened to Kyrie Jackson, and if the person that hit him was allegedly drunk and whatever, well, they're going to be charged with a crime, and they're going to be put in prison probably for a long time. So if that happened to Jordan Addison, would he have even been able to suit up for the Minnesota Vikings this season? Would have the Minnesota Vikings probably would have cut him on the spot, because they don't want that talented player, but guy that can't stop making mistakes on the roster that's going to make the organization look bad if you keep him on the roster and give him another chance. So it's just dumb. It's beyond dumb. This comes from a guy who doesn't drink. I have a quarter of a beer, not even a beer, once a year. And it's specific. The day is very specific. The day I need a quarter of a beer, well, one, I'm gluten-free, so it needs to be a gluten-free beer. But the day I need a quarter of a beer is when it's 95 degrees. I did some yard work, planted grass, lifted something heavy outside, did a lot of things out there where you're just sweating and water just isn't going to seal the deal right now. You just need something different to make yourself feel quenched. And that's when I have like a sip of beer or two, and then I literally throw the beer can away with like it 95% full. But it's just dumb. Anyways, I saw the story come out, and I'm like, 5 days after Kyrie Jackson died because of a drunk driver. Wowzers. Huh. Can you have a little bit more awareness, Jordan Addison? I get you're 22 years old and you're a potential superstar in the NFL, but that doesn't make any excuses. Justin Jefferson isn't doing this stupid stuff. People are going to come up with excuses for him regardless, but I'm not. This was dumb. Anyways, thank you for watching this episode. Hit that subscribe button right there. And thank you for making this episode a part of your day.